Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa and Associates. For a consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.
Hello, my name is Mary Campbell, legal assistant at the law firm of Figueroa and Associates, and your presenter with a special immigration report. Stricter work permit rules. Economic impact on the U.S. economy and immigrants. President Trump's executive order to deny work permits to immigrants awaiting legal status decisions has profound implications for the U.S. economy and affected individuals. While the administration aims to prioritize American workers, the policy could exacerbate labor shortages, reduce tax revenue, and strain public assistance programs. Introduction. On the first day of his second term, President Donald Trump signed a series of executive orders targeting U.S. immigration policies. Among the most impactful measures is the directive to deny work permits to individuals without legal status, even if they have pending immigration applications. This policy change is expected to have far-reaching consequences for both immigrants and the broader U.S. economy. By preventing individuals from legally earning an income while awaiting legal status decisions, the new order poses significant challenges for economic stability, workforce participation, and social cohesion. This article provides an in-depth analysis of the stricter work permit rules, their rationale, potential effects, and the broader economic and social implications. Background and policy overview. The new executive order directs the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, to prevent individuals who lack formal legal status from obtaining work authorization. Under previous regulations, many immigrants, including asylum seekers and those applying for permanent residency, were eligible to receive work permits while their applications were processed. This system allowed them to contribute to the workforce legally and support themselves and their families. The Trump administration argues that restricting work permits will discourage unauthorized immigration and ensure that jobs go to U.S. citizens and lawful residents first. The policy also aligns with broader efforts to deter asylum seekers and other immigrants from remaining in the U.S. without firm legal status. However, critics argue that the order ignores the economic contributions of immigrants and creates unnecessary hardships for those seeking to regularize their status through legal means. Economic impact on the U.S. economy. 1. Labor shortages in key industries. Immigrants, particularly those awaiting legal status decisions, play a crucial role in several U.S. industries, including agriculture, construction, hospitality, and healthcare. Denying work permits to this population could exacerbate existing labor shortages, as many businesses depend on immigrant labor to meet demand. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce has consistently highlighted the essential role of immigrant workers, particularly in sectors facing chronic workforce shortages. For example, in agriculture, nearly 70% of the workforce consists of immigrant labor. Without access to legal work authorization, farms may struggle to find workers, leading to higher production costs, supply chain disruptions, and increased food prices for consumers. Similarly, the construction industry, which relies heavily on immigrant labor for tasks such as framing, roofing, and masonry, could face project delays and rising costs. 2. Impact on consumer spending. Immigrant workers contribute significantly to the U.S. economy through consumer spending. With their earnings, they purchase goods and services, rent housing, and pay taxes. Denying them the ability to work legally will reduce their purchasing power, leading to declines in consumer demand across various sectors, including retail, housing, and transportation. According to a report by the American Immigration Council, immigrants contribute over $1 trillion to the U.S. economy annually through wages, spending, and tax contributions, Limiting their ability to earn an income could result in billions of dollars in lost economic activity, negatively impacting businesses and local communities. 3. Strain on public assistance programs. Without work permits, many immigrants awaiting legal status decisions may be forced to rely on social safety net programs such as food assistance, emergency housing, and healthcare services. This shift could place additional strain on local and federal resources, increasing government expenditures. States with large immigrant populations, such as California, Texas, and New York, may face the highest burdens, as they provide significant state-level assistance programs to residents regardless of immigration status. Moreover, unauthorized employment in the informal economy could increase, leading to exploitation, wage theft, and labor law violations. This would further complicate enforcement efforts and increase the demand for social services to support vulnerable immigrant populations. 4. Impact on entrepreneurship and innovation. Immigrants are known for their high rates of entrepreneurship and innovation. Many immigrants awaiting legal status have launched businesses, created jobs, and contributed to local economies. Preventing them from working legally could stifle entrepreneurship and hinder economic growth in communities that rely on immigrant-owned businesses. According to the National Foundation for American Policy, immigrants account for nearly 25% of new business owners in the U.S., and immigrant-founded businesses generate millions of jobs annually. Losing this source of innovation and economic activity could hinder long-term economic expansion. 5. Reduced tax revenue. Work permit holders contribute to state and federal tax revenues through payroll taxes, Social Security contributions, and income taxes. By preventing immigrants from obtaining legal work authorization, the government stands to lose significant tax revenue that would otherwise support public infrastructure, education, and healthcare services. A study by the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy estimated that undocumented immigrants alone contribute over $11 billion in state and local taxes annually. Without work authorization, many immigrants will be forced into informal employment, reducing these contributions and placing additional fiscal pressures on public budgets. Social and humanitarian impact. 1. Increased financial hardship for immigrant families. Many immigrants awaiting legal status decisions are primary breadwinners for their families. Without work permits, their inability to legally earn an income will lead to financial insecurity, forcing families into poverty, housing instability, and food insecurity. This financial hardship can have long-term negative effects on children's education, health, and overall well-being. 2. Psychological and emotional strain. The uncertainty surrounding their ability to work legally creates significant stress and anxiety for immigrants and their families. Fear of deportation, economic instability, and social exclusion can lead to mental health issues such as depression and anxiety, further complicating their integration into U.S. society. 3. Impact on integration and social cohesion. Work authorization plays a vital role in helping immigrants integrate into their communities. By contributing economically, they build social connections and become active members of their communities. Denying work permits may push immigrants into the shadows, increasing social divisions and contributing to the marginalization of immigrant populations. Legal and policy challenges. Several immigrant advocacy organizations and legal experts have signaled their intent to challenge the new work permit restrictions in court. Opponents argue that the executive order contradicts existing U.S. immigration law, which allows certain categories of immigrants to obtain work permits while their cases are under review. Legal challenges may focus on the executive branch's authority to unilaterally change work permit eligibility without congressional approval. Additionally, courts may review whether the policy violates due process rights or unfairly targets specific immigrant communities. Potential policy alternatives. Critics of the new work permit policy have proposed alternative approaches that balance border security with economic needs. Some suggested measures include 1. Work permit reform. Streamlining the process for granting work permits to eligible applicants while maintaining stringent background checks. 2. Temporary work programs. Establishing temporary work authorization programs for immigrants with pending cases, allowing them to contribute legally while their status is adjudicated. 3. Public-private partnerships, encouraging collaboration between government agencies and businesses to create pathways for lawful employment while ensuring compliance with immigration laws. Conclusion: President Trump's executive order to deny work permits to immigrants awaiting legal status decisions has profound implications for the U.S. economy and affected individuals. While the administration aims to prioritize American workers, the policy could exacerbate labor shortages, reduce tax revenue, and strain public assistance programs. For immigrants, the loss of work authorization represents not only an economic challenge, but also a threat to their well-being and social stability. As legal battles unfold, policymakers must consider the long-term economic and humanitarian consequences of restricting immigrant work opportunities and seek solutions that support both national interests and economic growth.
Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa & Associates. For consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.